session meeting on Monday, June the 27th, 2022. Roll call, please.
Mayor Litchfield.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Webb.
Yeah.
Commissioner Vanova.
Yes.
Commissioner Arias.
Yes.
Commissioner Cherry.
Yes.
So our discussion items, the first thing on the agenda is the session regarding the budget for the fiscal year 2023.
Yes, ma'am, I'd like to ask that we remove that item until July 14th.
July 14th, okay. All right. Do I need to have a motion on that?
No, ma'am.
I didn't think so during work session, so. Okay, so next then would be discussion regarding government relations contract with Clint Harden and Associates.
Yes, ma'am.
I saw the contract in here.
Mr. Harden's contract will be expiring, it has expired now.
Right.
We paid through the last month. And I just wanted to bring it to the commission because I know there had been some different comments and concerns. But my personal opinion, Clint Harden Associates has brought more to the table. It's not just during the legislative session. They actually provide services throughout the year. They're actually attending the different legislative finance committee meetings as they go on. There's meetings that are conducted throughout the year in different locations. And it's good to have an insight, to have the heads up on things that may be coming down. They're good about attending those and being informed, different grant opportunities, different funding opportunities that could be made available to the city. There's been times that they've called me and said, hey, there may be some extra funds available. What are the priorities of the city? And we're able to go back and forth and talk about that. And again, like I said, I think not only does this bring this contract, not just for the legislative session, but throughout the year as well, providing government services as far as attending different meetings and whatnot.
Okay. Any questions or concerns?
Wait a minute. Remember we were working on something and I called you because he wasn't aware of it and Senator Campos had called me about it. He needed to be aware of it. He had not talked to Senator Campos. Do you remember what that was? That Senator Campos was upset because he was coming before the House and nobody had contacted him?
No,
And I
sir.
called you directly and told you.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what that was in regards to.
And then, yeah, because Clint Harden had not contacted the senator in reference of Campos called me and said, what's going on, Ralph? Aren't you guys interested in what you proposed here? And I can't remember what it was. I don't know if it was the water project or something. So then I called Mark and I said, Mark, Clinton has not gone and take the information to Senator Campos. And then you had to call him. I can't remember what it was.
I think it was just that he might not have turned in the capital outlay request.
Yeah, that's what it
to
was,
him,
something like
Senator.
that, yeah.
Turn it into Senator Pat Woods as well as Representative Jack Chatfield.
And, but Campos was more in that committee or something, that he was wondering why Tucumcari was not. And so I had to call him, he called Clint, the guy to go out there and take the information to Senator Campos.
But he got it turned in, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
a senator shouldn't be calling the commissioner to get the information. That information should be ahead the package should be ahead of the issue coming before the legislature.
Okay.
And so I'm not too happy. I would like to see another one. I'd like to see, try others and see what we can come up with. It really is. It's important for us to have a lobbyist, but at this point, I don't know. I'm not too impressed with him, and I've been around for a long time. So I would like to see if we can get some other bids or something like that to see who to replace it, especially after this incident, and I'm not happy about it.
Okay. Any other comments, discussions?
No, I'll throw some stuff in. The turning in the capital outlay, that goes to one office. Then it's split up, as I understand it. They don't give it they let our representative know, but it goes to LFC and then it's distributed. Then it's the senators and all decide and reps if it's going to be a hearing, but normally there's not a hearing on that anyway, till the end when they start dividing it up, so
It was at the
But
end,
he does
it
a
was
lot
at the end when he
more
called
for
it.
then just capital outlay. Like you said, he's there every year round. And there's a lot of things decided from September until they meet in January.
I feel we ought to go and check out another lobbyist. I don't think we need to, just make it a tradition just because, I don't see the results as much as I would like to be honest with you. This thing about having to be called on just not left a good taste in my mouth about it either. And of course, my interest is the city, not a lobbyist, if the lobbyist does good work, then he should be rewarded, but at this point, I'm not comfortable.
Okay. Next is discussion regarding ordinance 1164, amending 2.04.10 of the Tucumcari Municipal Code, changing the time of the meeting of the mayor and city commission of the city of Tucumcari, New Mexico.
Yes, ma'am, we had talked about this at a previous meeting, and I wanted to make it a formal request and have it on the agenda. So it's here on the work session to discuss first, and then also on the regular commission meeting, so we can start moving forward with it if you so choose. There's many reasons why I wanted to do this. I think, in my opinion, it's a little bit more productive to have these meetings either in the morning or early afternoon. We're able to conduct business. For example, if it's a contracting agreement, some kind of task order, something that's time sensitive. There's a lot of times in government work that things are relayed to us last minute and we have to get them out quickly, whether it's for grants or whatnot. And in doing so, I like to follow the model. I've talked to a few other municipalities, the county as well here. They have their meetings at 9 a.m. in the morning. I propose to have our meetings, work sessions start at either 9 a.m. or 1, 2, whatever works for the majority of the commission. But it'll also save some money because right now we are paying our employees overtime, those that are not salaried, just to be here to present after hours. I'd like to try to get this business conducted within working hours between 8 to 5 if possible. And at that, I'd leave it up to you all, but there is some reasoning behind this. We also have a lot better technology than we used to from when the meeting times first started, it was first created. I know there were some concerns about people not being able to attend, but if it's for information purposes, our meetings are always broadcasted on YouTube. Those individuals could go back and be informed and watch those. If somebody's wanting to participate, they can either come in person or it's also available online still. We do provide the meeting on GoToMeeting still, so they can still participate. They're able to actually interact and ask questions, have public comments if need be. So I think with those reasonings and the updated technology, it's a good idea and it helps cut back on overtime and comp time as well.
Actually, the meetings used to be Thursday at 10 o'clock in the old days. What happened is a whole bunch of citizens came before the commission, and that's when we changed it to the afternoon. That's where it came. For me, it probably worked better in the daytime. But at the same time, I was elected by the people to make accommodation to them, and they were the ones who changed it. That was still in the last 4 years that I was in the commission. That's when we changed it. It used to be Thursday at 10 a.m. all the time. And it was the citizens who came before the commission and wanted to change in the afternoon. Because some who wanted to come to the commission did not want to take off work and didn't feel that was right, that in the afternoon they had more time. That was people who had issues, not that they're going to come every day, but that's why it would change. It was at 10 o'clock in the morning. But I think that since that was the way we changed it, I think what we ought to do is put it out in the public and get some sort of a censor and see what they want. Would they prefer to be in the morning, or do they have any corners about changing it to the mornings? You know what I mean? But they were the ones who made the request. It wasn't the commission. It was the citizens that Tucumcari, and I represent my constituents, and that's why we changed it to 6 in the afternoon.
Chris, Commissioner Arias, how's this going to affect your job?
I can make the accommodations as needed.
Okay, so you could change your work schedule according.
Yes, ma'am.
For either morning or afternoon.
Yes.
I don't have a quorum, because for me,
Yeah.
days is better, but at the same time, that's why we changed.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not about my schedule, my personal schedule or anything like that. It's about, I agree with Commissioner Moy, it's about
Right.
what serves the public.
What the service the public, yeah.
And that's what the public, they're the ones who requested it, we did.
Commissioner Villanueva, what's your feelings?
I agree with, Mr. Moya and Chris Arias. I guess we can see what the people want, you know what I mean?
Commissioner Cherry?
Agree with the rest of them. And by doing this, it has to be read twice or whatever.
Yes.
It's on the agenda for tonight. We'll just see if anybody, the citizens come and speak up against it. Because if there's a lot, I'm gonna take that into consideration.
Yes.
To me, it doesn't matter. Accommodation is better for me in the daytime, but also at that time, that was a controversial that happened. That's why it got changed tonight, not because the commission at that time did not want to come at night, but we did.
Yeah, I can tell my wife would appreciate having me home earlier.
Right, yeah.
For me, it's a lot easier because I travel and usually I have to leave after the commission meeting where I'm going.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, it's up to, I mean, I took an office and that office to represent the people. And that is, if that's what will accommodate them better, then that's what I would prefer to do.
So, in according with that, if we put this before the people, are we gonna go morning or afternoon?
I think we should put it before them and ask them before we put it in the publication, because the bottom line is, once you start doing the publication, by the time the circulation of the voice gets around, then we're the last hearing, you know? And I think we should ask in some sort of a survey in the community what they feel would be more accommodating to them. I know for me, it would accommodate would be better in the daytime, but I'm not here about me, it's
Right.
about my residents.
Well,
And so-
none of us are,
What's-
none of us
what's
are
the
here
answer?
for ourselves.
What's the easiest way for us to distribute that?
Somehow, we can probably either have it, some sort of survey that we can do it, we can get somebody to do it, or we can actually have it in our utility bills and ask, you know, if they wish to comment on it, you know. Somehow or other, we need to get that information out to the public. And they have to make the decision. If they choose to want us in the morning, perfect. If they don't care, it's all perfectly fine. But if they feel like they don't have the time to come in the morning and take off time, especially if you're a career person, you know, the afternoon might be more accommodating. I don't care which day it is. As long as the residents are involved in decision making. For us to go right ahead and assume it's okay and talk tacos, you know, whether you like it or not, we shove it down your throat. It's not right because they are the ones who made the petition towards the commission to want it in the afternoon.
So that's what you did 30 years ago? You had a survey? Did you guys do a survey?
No, we didn't have to. They brought us a damn petition. What do you mean? When they bring a petition, so you don't need a survey.
Right, yeah,
And it was a big thing in town. That's why they have it in the daytime.
The way we said, we can just let our districts decide.
Yeah, but they, you know, it's hard to get around some of our district, everybody
Work
works.
with the people, yeah.
But some way or other, they can make comments, that'd be perfectly fine. You guys do Facebook, maybe they can put it on that thing. Oh, the city has a Facebook, they can put it on there. And I think that's the deal is, you know, and that's why we changed it, not because we particularly care for it.
all right. So, that answer your question?
No, but we'll go out and we'll do a survey, I guess, on Facebook. The one thing that's unfortunate, even with it in the evening right now, I feel our attendance is pretty low. It's the same people you'll see tonight. It's typically Main Street, the Chamber of Commerce, our media, and then a few others. We get more typically for proclamations or special things like that. But I think important items, we have a way of accommodating again where people could attend and have their voice still, but I'm open to suggestions and whatever we can do. It's just, I think it'd be a little bit more conducive to business to have it during operational hours. Again, we would save the money on overtime and comp time. That's a big key as well. And still having the time after meetings, instead of having to have, say in Halleck stay till 8:30, 9 o'clock to scan these documents because they're time sensitive, we'd still have working hours that day to get those out and send them out in the snail mail if we need to, or
Well, it's been going on like the way it's been, so what's the difference? Overtime.
money. We can't.
Well, I
continue to-
understand that, but we serve the
got-
public.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I understand that, but we serve the public, and that's what we have to do. We did not have that big of an attendance in the daytime, and we did not, we increased very little at nights when we changed it. But still, we did what the people wanted. That's the bottom line. It's not about us, it's about what the residents, because we are elected as a commission to represent a district, which means the people, now you can have all 1,600 people in here, so they elect one person to come in and do the representation, that's me in District 1. So that's who I talk to for the 1,600 people that are in my district.
Okay,
The
So-
other thing I wanted to talk about, Mayor, that was part of that ordinance as well, was I've had some citizens approach me about discussing the districting. Each time the census goes through, each 10 years, there is the opportunity, if things have changed as much, quite a bit, I guess, through population, see if there's a need to redistrict, and also the concern of maybe at-large districts. Keep the same district, 5 districts, but the vote would turn into an at-large, so that's also some concern that's come up from citizens as well.
I think that is something that should be issued we are under a court order to have a district, and on the federal courts order us, I can't remember the packet number, but it is to be by district. And I will tell you right now, we will continue to fight it if it's taken out of district.
Okay, but I think that's something we did look at. because-
Yeah, but it's in the court order, you have to, we
It
went
is,
to the
but the
federal
state-
court, and we went before
The
Judge
state-
Parker.
Statute has changed since.
But federal is over state, not state or federal.
Well, there'll be,
Yeah, but it's under federal court order.
So, as far as the census and redistricting, is, that's not mandated, but if you can show that there's been a population shift that you need
Yeah.
to.
Yes, sir.
And so those indices, do we need to look at redistricting?
I reached out to the city attorney about that months back when it was brought to my attention. And again, the attorney said it was not mandated, but it was good practice to at least look into that if we needed to. But I don't think population has changed enough to warrant that, but it's always good to look into.
We used to run at large, the first 2 terms I run was at large, and I won 2 terms. But the court, when they filed the lawsuit, that's when they came out with a district. And that's when the court ordered, we had to go back to federal court again to enforce it, because they wanted to switch the district so awful. And that's when Judge Parker ordered that they must go by district, not at large, because the Hispanic population is mostly in the north side.
Do you know approximate cost, what it costs for somebody to look at redistricting? Because I know they've always hired
Outside,
outside.
I do not have an approximate cost, but I could look into that.
anything else on that one?
No, that's all I have on that.
Next is the discussion regarding resolution 2022-18, resolution of the governing body of the city of Tucumcari establishing revised per diem and mileage rates for city non-salary public officers, establishing revised per diem and mileage rates for city salaried public employees.
Yes, ma'am, that's a lot.
That's a
Long
lot.
story short, the state has changed their per diem rates. We need to get in line with that and follow state statute. It has changed from last fiscal year, $85 per diem to this year, $151. And come July 1st, that will now increase to $155. So, go ahead, Commissioner.
No, I don't want to interrupt you, but when you're through, I have a comment.
So just as recently as right before the meeting, we were speaking
Right.
with Mr. Van Vleck from the attorney's office and asking if we could change that resolution maybe to read more to follow state statute. Instead of being specific what it may be this year, next year, that we just follow the state statute, make it a little bit looser language, that we're able to move forward. And each year as it changes at the state rate, we're changing alongside with it without having
Right.
to adopt a new resolution.
So
Yeah.
2 years ago, the per diem rates were set by the legislature. And so we'd go 10 years sometimes before they were changed. Now the statute says that based on certain indices, the Department of Finance and Administration can change the per diem rates and mileage rates is by statute that's based on the federal for New Mexico, but that's different all over New Mexico, so I don't know how they do that. So my suggestion is, like Mark says, instead of us doing this every year when the changes, and that's what's written here, that we have an ordinance that just follows this state statute.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It allows them to make sure that we're following state statute, we're not in non-compliance.
So do we need to delete that for tonight and get it on the next, or
Probably
just?
No,
I'd like to do it sooner as possible because we've had individuals going out to different trainings or conferences, and we need to make sure that we're in compliance with state statute and following the law, in my opinion. I think that's an easy verbiage change.
Okay, that's fine with me. With the clerk, can you do that?
I can. So what I'll do is I'll look at sections 1, 2, and 3. And as you all heard me talking to Mr. Van Vleck.
Yeah.
I'll add, now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the city of Tucumcari, New
that,
Mexico, that the city of Tucumcari will hereby follow any adopted or published New Mexico per diem and mileage rates, period.
And she can read that when we go to vote on it, and then we'll be good. right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
okay, so we'll just delete those 3 sections. Okay,
thank you, Madam Clerk.
okay, sounds good.
That's it.
That's it. Anybody else have anything for work session?
Nope, no, ma'am.
Okay, well, got 30 minutes.
Oh, when are we gonna start interviewing for city manager?
I don't know. When are we gonna
We
start?
need to move,
Yeah.
we get this thing done, been dragging our feet.
He was supposed to find one this last week.